Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be discussing my super early 2025 NBA mock draft where we're going to be doing picks 6 through 10. So go ahead and stick around and we'll go ahead and get right into it. So with my 6th overall pick, I have Nolan Traoré from France going to the Toronto Raptors. So he's a 6'4" point guard with decent size and really great burst getting into the lane. He's really good at collapsing the defense with his quick first step. He's has an amazing burst of speed with the ball and without the ball. So he'll be amazing in the fast break. He can use that speed to break down defenders very easily. He's also a promising outside shooter. He hits step back threes and the occasional side step three here and there. He has solid form on his shot, so that's good to see. He's a really solid defender. He gives really good effort and energy on that side of the ball. So it's really good to see from a young point guard and a young player in general. He has solid instincts in those passing lanes, so that's also good to see. Some things I would like him to work on is his shot selection. It can be questionable at times. Not really a great driver going left. Definitely going to have to work on driving with his left hand so he doesn't become too predictable. And I'm worried about his slight frame. He's only 175, 180 pounds in that range. So he may get picked on defense here and there by stronger offensive players. Like a Luka or SGA, players like that who would thrive in seeking out a smaller player. I would like him to pack on some strength and some muscle so that way it can negate even getting bullied by offensive players or being able to handle physical defenders that might be able to get rid of his speed advantage. But all in all, I think he'll be a solid player for the Raptors. I see his comp being more of a De'Aaron Fox, Tony Parker hybrid. Okay, so with my 7th pick, I have Noah Sengun from France going to the Portland Trailblazers. He's a 6'10" forward. He has really fluid athleticism and moves like a guard. He can dribble the ball for his size. It's a pretty solid passer for his position. He has solid vision. He can be a versatile defender that can guard the wing and occasionally may be able to guard the post and maybe be able to be a solid switch defender with more time in the league. He's a solid finisher around the basket and he loves to finish above the rim. So really like that about him. Some things that I would like him to work on is his wiry frame. He really gets bumped off of his spots very easily. He's only 195 pounds. He's not a great shooter at all. Not really a good free throw shooter either. He has a solid shooting form, but they just don't fall. So one thing I would like him to work on is that shooting. Has trouble finishing through contact. Again, that's just due to his slight frame, so he will have to work on that. He tends to do too much with the ball. May want to dribble and throw no-look passes maybe, or he may do too much dribbling around and he try to find his own shot or to create a shot for someone else. So I would like him to just work on getting to specific spots and just either dishing off or resetting the play if need be, or just get into those spots, and once his jump shot come together, he can be able to hit those occasional jump shots here and there or get to the basket. He will be a project player, but I think he'll be a really good project for the Trailblazers, who's rebuilding as is, so there's really no rush for him to be a perfect player. But overall, I'm looking at a comparison of Jonathan Isaac with a mix of Tayshaun Prince. So for my 6th pick, I have Nolan Traoré from France going to the Toronto Raptors. So some strengths about him is that he's a 6'6" point guard. He has some decent size on him, so that's good. He has really great burst getting into the lane. With that great burst, that means that he's really good at collapsing the defense with his quick first step. So that'll be something that could be a very advantageous thing that he'll have for a large part of his career. potentially. He's really good in the fast break with his great speed, so that could be an advantage that he'd have, along with being a promising outside shooter. He hits the occasional step back three and the side step threes, and he has solid form on his jump shot, so that's really good. He gives really great effort and energy on defense, which is always a positive to see from young players. He's also had some really good instincts in the passing lanes, so I'm projecting maybe a 2 steal a game type of guy. That could be really good on coming on your team, especially for the Toronto Raptors, who could use some guard play, especially a really good point guard. I like Emmanuel Cook quickly, but I feel like Nolan will be a better replacement for him in the long run. Some things that I would like him to work on is his shot selection. It can be questionable at times. He's not a very good driver going left, so he does have to work on driving in the lane with his left hand, and also occasionally finishing with his left hand. He may struggle on defense with his light frame. He's only 175, maybe 180 pounds. He does give great effort, but with his light frame, he could get picked on or hunted in mismatches. So with that being said, he will have to build some strength, so he can deal with more physical defenders when he's on offense, as well as with his defense. So it doesn't affect anything there. But all in all, I think that he could be a really solid player. My comps for him is looking like a De'Aaron Fox, Tony Parker hybrid. Alright, so with my 8th overall pick, I have Rocco Zikarsky from Brisbane, Australia, going to the San Antonio Spurs, courtesy of the Hawks, giving up that draft pick. So, he's a 7'2" center with a sturdy frame. He's 230 pounds, so that's good to see. He's not the strongest, but he's not the lightest either. So that's good to see. He's a very good screen and roller that I project to be an amazing lob threat in the league. He's a solid passer out of the mid-range and the post, so that could be an interesting dynamic that he has on his game. He uses his size well and plays physical, despite being only 230 pounds. So that's good to see. His size makes him a really good shot blocker, being 7'2", and he has really good instincts in getting blocks. He loves to finish with power, and he has decent touch around the rim, so that's nice to see from a 7'2" center. So really good right there. Some things I would like him to work on, or some things that's just naturally just going to be deficiencies in his game, is he is a little slow-footed. He will struggle defending on the perimeter, potentially, but I'm hoping with the Spurs he'll have Greg Popovich there to help him, teach him how to defend in space, but maybe we'll see. But for right now, I am projecting that he will struggle defending in space. He has almost a non-existent jump shot. To be even a player in this league nowadays, you have to have a good jump shot, in my opinion, to provide really good spacing. It will work really well. Behoove him to get a jump shot, even if it's just the mid-range. That would really help out not just his teammates, but his own game as well. He tends to only drive left. He needs to work on developing that right hand drive and finishing with his right hand. Again, as I stated before, you don't want to be too predictable with your finishing patterns or abilities, so it's good to develop both hands so you can become a little bit more unpredictable to the defense. But all in all, I think that his NBA comparison would be a Andrew Bogut, Andres Biedrins type player. Okay, let's go ahead and get into that 9th overall pick. I have Ben Serif out of Israel going to the San Antonio Spurs again. He is a 6'6", 6'7" dynamic point guard, or guard in general, who provides value on both sides of the floor. He has excellent feel for the game. He's very crafty, not saying very Luka Doncic like, but I can see little things in Luka's game that you can see in Ben Serif's game. So that's really good to see. He's a good playmaker with the ball in his hands. He can score and create for others, so that's nice to see at 6'6", 6'7". He could potentially place a lot of point guard, a lot of shooting guard. So having a combo guard at that size is really good. He's an improving three-point shooter. We'll need to continue working on that a little bit more, but he has a really solid mid-range game. So at least having that in his game will still give him an ability to keep the defense honest and help him get to those spots to where he's not too predictably just either three-point shooting or straight to the basket. So that's good to see. Very high IQ defender. He uses his length to get into the passing lanes. He's a good team defender. He could project to guard 1 through 3 at the next level, so that's solid. Couple things that are some weaknesses I've seen is that he's not a quick, explosive athlete, but it's good enough. It's enough to get you through the league. He may struggle guarding quicker players. So I mean, only time will tell how that goes. But I want him to continue improving as a three-point shooter. Obviously, as a guard, it's in this league nowadays. It's too important to have a three-point shot. You cannot survive without being able to shoot the ball as a guard. His athleticism may lead to some struggles getting to the basket, but I'm hoping that he would use his strength and IQ to be able to help him with that. And I would also really, really like him to improve without the ball in his hands. Tends to stand around or not really be able to make his shots off the catch. So I would like him to work on that some more. But all in all, I'm looking at potentially the next Manu Ginobili, hopefully, but a worse version, of course. But gives me Manu Ginobili type vibes. Okay, and with our 10th overall pick, I have Kamal Malak out of Duke University, going to the Utah Jazz. He's a 7'2" center with good size. He's 240 pounds, so that's good to see. He's built very strong, so that's amazing. And he has a ridiculous 7'6", 7'7" wingspan, so that you can already project the type of shot blocker he'll be. But let's continue. He has a smooth and solid, fluid jump shot. He has the potential to knock down threes at the next level. His great length allows him to be a really, really good shot blocker. He has the foot speed and the quickness to allow him to be a good defender in space, that be able to protect, help in those PNR situations, or out on the perimeter in general if he gets switched out onto a guard or a wing, but preferably more of a wing, probably be more what he would see. But again, projects to be a very good defender, really good shot blocker and rim protector. Major concerns about him though is that he is a project. He's only played organized basketball for 5 years, so you're looking at maybe his entire rookie contract. You're looking at fully trying to develop that ability, his abilities. He has no go-to moves on offense, but it is improving. Again, he's only been playing basketball for 5 years, so we need to give him time, of course, being that he's raw, new to the game. So over time, I think that he'll get those offensive abilities together to match his potentially really good defense. Has no ability to pass or make reads or facilitate the ball. It leads to a lot of silly turnovers that I will hope that he needs to work, that he will be able to work on. But again, it's just lack of experience and not really much feel for the game, so to speak, which leads to, again, those unnecessary turnovers. But I mean, still, with that defensive potential and the ability to potentially be a very good 3-point shooter, I mean, you could be looking at the next a taller Miles Turner. So, thank you guys for listening to the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and have a good day.